Good morning, you beautiful, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back into another day in my life, and in the life of my family when you rarely get to see them, unfortunately. I was, as I said last night, super duper productive last night, even more so after I turned the camera off. I spent entirely too much time, but I got the Rode VideoMic Me video done. It is published on the channel. There's a blog post over on my site about it. If you don't know, I do have a website. It's called twill.tv, TWIL.tv. It is just a very, very simple blogger site where literally every video that I make on the main channel, I make a post about it. I include links. Sometimes I'll include a little extra blurb about whatever it is, but I've been ridiculously lazy about it, as I am about most things. So for the most part, it has literally just been, here is an embed of the video, and here is a link to whatever product it is I'm talking about, if there's a product. But anyway, I did finish up the Rode VideoMic Me video. It is up there. I also finished up the Amazon Fire tablet unboxing video, and it's, here. The video itself is uploading. Yes, still uploading at the moment. Finished it up late last night, and it's actually 97% uploaded. I'm not going to make it public at the moment, but it is there. Starting to try to get my backlog addressed, as well as trying to get myself just a little bit ahead. If I can get myself 5 to 7 videos ahead at least and stay that way, that would be amazing, because there's going to be some time coming in the very near future, probably in the next 3 weeks, where I'm going to be mostly inaccessible because I'm going to have armload of baby and or armload of diapers. So I want to make sure that I have content. The daily vlog, it's going to become really, really difficult to do it, but I think we can still make it work. The greatest thing so far about the daily vlog is that literally I just take all of the clips that I make on a camera. It becomes more difficult if I use multiple cameras and or cell phones, but I take all of those, I plop them into the timeline, I cut out the parts where there's not a whole lot of talking or where the topic goes off way too far, and then I hit render. That's how the daily vlogs go. That's what actually kind of confuses me about other people that do daily vlogs that say that it takes them hours and hours to do it. Maybe they film a lot more than I do. Maybe they do it a lot less raw than I do. But I watch Roman Atwood's vlogs. I've been watching him for months and months now. And I know he does the majority of his editing in the morning. I do mine late at night because everybody else is in bed. I can do it undisturbed. I really like that. But I'm also a bit of a night owl. But I still, maybe it's just the workflow. Maybe it's the fact, again, that I use this Shuttle Pro V2. And I don't think Roman uses one of those. I know he edits on a Mac. Maybe it's something to do with Final Cut if he's using Final Cut, or iMovie if he's using iMovie. It's been so long since I've touched iMovie, I can't really remember how difficult it is to use, and Final Cut I don't even want to get into. But going back and forth between Premiere Elements and Movie Studio, for a daily vlogger, those things are both perfectly fine. For the tech videos I make, those are still perfectly fine. They can both do a decent amount of color correction, they can do contrast levels, they can do brightness, they can do... Actually, I think Premiere Elements can even do some motion tracking, but I haven't even looked into that yet because I haven't needed it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not one of those tech vloggers that wants to do all of the cinematic, I'm gonna do this beautiful pan over to the device and then have this text flicker onto the screen with the After Effects stuff. That's just not me. It's great. I love watching it. I don't like the idea of making it, and I don't like the idea of putting it on my channel, so I don't do it. You have to have videos you're making that you enjoy making and that you are, again, happy with and proud of when they're done. I want to have fun doing it. But anyway, as I was saying last night, it looks like it rained overnight, but hopefully not a huge amount. I'm hoping to be able to take the Phantom 3 out here in a little bit, maybe just after lunch. It's 11:30 right now, so hopefully I can take it out right after lunch, get out there and get that first flight in. I do need to make sure that I have the DJI Go app installed on the right device and that I've read through this manual a little bit more thoroughly, but everything is charged up, everything's ready to go, and I may actually include some footage from that in here too. In other news, I saw a couple of articles from yesterday evening that I went ahead and bookmarked just because it was after I turned off the camera and I wanted to make sure to talk about them at least a little bit here. First, which I find really, really amusing, an article popped up on The Verge saying that CES has officially banned hoverboards. As a person who has gone to CES for the last few years and unfortunately is going to miss CES this year because baby time, I cannot say that I'm surprised in the slightest. If you have ever been to a large conference in general, you know how packed it can be with people. When you put 150,000 plus people in one event space, and half of the idiots that go there want to take their stupid rolling suitcases. I'm sorry, but that's what happens. They walk around the conference floor with rolling suitcases. They'll roll over your foot, they'll hit you with it. You don't do that. That's just plain stupid. I understand there are people that have lots and lots of equipment they need to take with them. Put it in a backpack. But if you mixed that type of environment where people are literally, shoulder to shoulder trying to nudge their way through all of these lines of booths, if you mix that with hoverboards where, you are just flat out leaning forward and going, you're gonna have some major collisions. You're gonna have some real issues on your hands. The other story I saw, which I found very, very interesting, GoPro is apparently working on a drone. They're working on a drone of their own. The drone is called the Karma, and apparently they've been working on it for a while, since 2014, and I can't say it's entirely surprising. So many quadcopters and drones in the market take advantage of using the GoPro, but more often than not, they're not stabilized. There's the Xiro, Xiro. I think it's actually the one I saw at Best Buy recently. I may have pointed it out. It's like a $1,000 drone with the gimbal and everything on it. I saw it on Amazon actually last night for $750 or something like that. And the drone itself is only like $399. It's when you want that stabilized GoPro gimbal or that stabilized included 1080p camera, it goes up to like $800. Anyway, GoPro stepping up and saying, we're gonna be partnering with somebody or doing it ourselves to make a drone. That's not a bad idea. And the footage that I've seen from it, from their previous post about it, it's some nice looking footage. It is very much GoPro footage, so there's a lot of issues with quality and saturation and everything, but it looked very good for drone footage. Also, I completely forgot to mention, yesterday evening, I got an email from Altspace VR. I talked about this a while back. It's been several weeks back. Just something I kind of stumbled on one morning. I saw an article about it on Engadget or somewhere, and I made a video about it. Just a very quick video before I even had lunch that day. I sat down, I started using it, I made it, just a quick screencast talking about it, walking through some of the things. They apparently saw my video. Altspace VR saw it. And according to them, quote, we loved it. Yes, 3 times because 1 time wasn't enough. And they've invited me to do a meeting, an in VR meeting with a couple of people from the company to talk about my experience with it, to talk about some any limitations or problems that I've seen with it, thoughts on future expansion of the product. That's definitely awesome. Well, I just saw a comment from Oscar Wooter. Nope, I'm not gonna do that wrong. From Oscar saying that the stickers for the foot hammock need to be installed. He says he's terribly excited for that. I am as well, and for some reason I just hadn't been doing it. And I'm actually glad that Oscar mentioned that, because I took a look at this little paper that came with it, and I read it wrong the first time. The first time I read it, it said, I saw where it said, let the hooks sit for 24 hours before putting them on the desk. I thought after that it was just leave it alone. No, there's part 2, hook to desk installation. You start this 24 hours after step 1, you attach it to the desk, and then you wait another 24 hours before you put any kind of pressure on it. So this is actually a full 2-day process. So I went ahead and very quickly did the unboxing. Here are the 2 hooks that come with it, 1 and 2. And actually, they come with screws. So technically, if you're using a solid wood desk, you could very easily just screw these in and not use the 3M pads that are included. I'm using a super cheapo IKEA desk, so I'm gonna be using the glue pads. It might not even hurt to do both. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and get these set up, get the stickies on the pads ready to go. These are actually very solid, very hefty hooks, seem to be very substantial. So I'm gonna get that ready to go. So thank you, Oscar, for pointing that out. Thank you for reminding me. I should have known it was gonna happen. I was giving it the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, not able to fly quite yet. I got everything outside, I got it all set up, I got the app installed and everything. New firmware for the P3 standard is available. The upgrade process takes about 30 minutes. However, it's already at about 24% after less than 2 minutes, so it's not gonna take another 30 minutes, hopefully. But it's just gonna sit here on the counter and beep for the next half hour, apparently. So that's a thing. I definitely really hoped I was gonna be able to take it outside, turn it on, hook it up, good to go, but no. It had to go through an online activation process. It's now obviously doing its firmware upgrade. It said something about fixing HDR color fringing and other camera related things, so it doesn't appear to be an upgrade that's actually dealing with anything flight related. So it would have been nice if I could have done that as an optional one, but for whatever reason, it's actually beeping and flashing, and it was doing this before I even started the upgrade. However, it is at 46%. So I'm just gonna leave it alone for a little while and let it do its thing. Uh-oh, it's beeping differently now. 48%. That's a much different beep. Well, I'm becoming more and more convinced that the UPS people are ninjas or something. They came up on the front porch to deliver a package and didn't set off the ring somehow, the Ring doorbell. However, big box from B&H Photo arrived. And of course, big box has smaller box inside of it. And smaller box has smaller boxes inside of them. And there they are, in case you were ever curious what 16 terabytes of storage all in one place looks like. I'm not quite done disassembling this one yet. Again, sorry for the beeping. It's just continually doing it. But I think I just got super duper lucky. These, from what I understood, were supposed to all come with green drives, but it looks like at least this one has a blue drive in it. They all have blue drives. That's good. It means that they're not ultra low power like the green drives, but it also means it's not immediately going to park its head like the green drives. And hey, it says the upgrade was successful. Please restart your aircraft and RC. There may be another one. Please, no. Well, the firmware on the quadcopter is up to date. Now it's complaining about the IMU, the Imperial Measurements. So there's a calibration inside of the app that has to be done for that. And I can't remember if I said it a minute ago or not, but I definitely forgot the one really important step before shelling this hard drive, and that is to test the hard drive and make sure it's actually good. Oops. All right. It just said your home point has been updated and to check it on the map, and it is finally not beeping at this point, and actually it's flashing green, which I think means that it has good GPS signal. Interesting considering we are inside at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and let the calibration finish though. It's only at 95%, so I don't wanna mess with it. All right, I finally did it. I went out and I flew for a little while. I don't know if I'm gonna include any of this footage or not. I might, but it's, wow. Definitely some nice looking footage. It looks like it needs color grading and saturation and things like that, but I don't know, it looks really cinematic as it is. Very smooth, very stable, and I hate to admit it, but I was kind of terrified out there with it. I mean, it's a very expensive, for what it is, it's a very expensive quadcopter, and it is the most stable and most beautiful footage that I've seen out of a quadcopter yet that I have owned. That's just sort of flying across my yard, you know, 20 feet, 30 feet up in the air. Then I decided I was gonna look at my gutters. So I kind of did that too. That's one of the things when my dad was here, when he was first taking a look at some of my quadcopters, it's the ones that had cameras, he said, well, wait, this would be a really cheap way to be able to inspect gutters, to be able to inspect roofs and everything. It's like, yeah, but this, what I've got here, has a gimbal with a little rotating thing so that you could technically get right up on the roof without having to get up there with a ladder. That makes all the difference. He's home. What?
I want to show you where the elf is.
The elf, okay. Lead on, McDuff. You're not McDuff, you're McDuncan. Where is he? I don't see him. Where is he? He's hiding in Ginger's stocking. Does that mean he's a treat?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We forgot to open an Advent book yesterday.
Yeah.
So once Mommy gets home, you have to open 2. Well, I've spent a little bit of time. I've got all of the hard drives unboxed, and I found this utility called DFT for Windows that can do a smart short test as well as a longer test, an extended test. So that will be a good thing, I suppose. I have tested 2 of the 4 drives. I'm about to test the 3rd one now, but the smart status seems to be okay on all of them. So hopefully that means they're okay to use. And I'm sure, work email. I'm sure that once I put them in the Drobo is going to be maintaining some error status information as well. I just don't want to tear them apart until I know that they're at least borderline, out of the box usable. But the sort of unintentional awesome side effect to all this, lots and lots of accessories. That means lots of bonus USB 3 cables and bonus Western Digital power supplies, because the 5 terabyte external drive that I was talking about previously seems to be having some sort of a power supply issue, might be, but if it is, now I've got spare power supplies to use just in case. And if it's the USB 3 cable, I can switch out for that. And actually, in my old computer, I had this USB 3 SD card reader, micro SD, SD, CF, all sorts of stuff. But the cable that came along with it is not very long. It's thick, it's nice, but it's only like a foot long. But because I have 3 or 4 of these at this point, I can actually go ahead and replace it with that. So even though my new computer does have a card reader built into it, it's kind of difficult to reach. I have to actually go under the desk to get to it. With this, I just reach over and put the card in. I've gotten really used to doing that, so now I can start using that again as well. This is good all around. All right, that is 4 drives disassembled after being tested. Well, I didn't test the first one, but whatever. And apparently I got very lucky because they were all 4 blue drives. I think it was Steve in the comments was talking about how green drives always have a higher failure rate. And realistically, I think that the new blue drives are actually the same as green drives. So really, it doesn't make all that much difference, but still, on paper, these are potentially supposed to be slightly better drives. And at this point, I think that means I need to go ahead and open up the Drobo so I can get these drives into it. And the Phantom 3 remote and battery are both completely charged again. So technically I could go back out and do that some more if I really wanted to. I kind of want to. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do, it's fall. It's kind of just a bleh day. It's not really pretty. It's not really gloomy. It's a day. If the sunset turns out to be absolutely gorgeous, like I hope that it will, I'm definitely gonna be taking the Phantom out, take it just straight out back and capture some of the sunset. That's one of the things I really wanted to get into drone photography because of, was I wanted to be able to capture beautiful clouds and sunsets and everything. So now I can. Woo! Welcome home. Oh, food time.
Food time.
Okay, so this will be mine, and you can have that. Roast is just not my thing.
I know, but I didn't make it with potatoes in there this time, so you don't have to eat the
It's still roast. Advent time.
We forgot yesterday.
Yep, we're doing this one and this one.
We're doing those two?
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. That's better.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah, it's Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants and the attack of the talking toilets.
Talking toilets.
Next
Wait, didn't he have that one from the library a while back?
No.
Yeah, I think we checked it out from the library. Now you have it, you own it.
Now it's yours.
The number 2.
Yep. It's about toilets and it's number 2. The other one, because we missed last night.
Not Captain Underpants.
It's not Captain. What? That's not possible.
Dinosaur Before Dark. Dinosaur Before Dark.
Dinosaurs Before Dark. It's the Magic Treehouse number 1. Cool.
Have you read any of the Magic Treehouse books yet, Duncan?
No.
That's cool.
Well, maybe we can read that one.
Yeah, I think you'll like Magic Treehouse books. They're awesome.
So I got an email for you earlier. It was an email addressed to Duncan.
Yeah.
Do you want to see it?
Santa Claus has a special video message just for you.
For you? What? Didn't he do that last year?
Yeah, and then he...
It says, I want to send you a little note. I was thinking of you, so here's a video message I made especially for you, Duncan. Let's see what he says. What?
Duncan in Kentucky. Almost rhymed.
Oh, hello, Duncan. How are you today, my friend? I'm very happy to see you.
Why are you hiding?
Duncan.
It's a video message. It's not a live chat.
I keep a book about every child in the world.
It's a lot of books.
Bobby is one.
And there was one that said Duncan.
That's me.
So was that your book?
Yeah.
I hope you've been a good little boy since last Christmas. You're 6 years old, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you're in the first grade.
What?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's pretty short.
Yeah, but it was a message to you.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
By the way, Drobo is set up. There's Drobo. It has 4 4-terabyte drives in it. I didn't realize the front was magnetic. Very nice. Well, I apparently don't have as much stuff on here as I thought I did. I have a total of 1 terabyte of used space, and currently the Drobo has, let's see, my XDA videos, my vlog videos, and Twill stuff, which is videos that I've made for my main channel for the last almost 6 years. That is ridiculously, absolutely frustrating beyond belief. I got finished doing the XDA video, well, I got finished filming the XDA video, spent huge amount of time scripting it, getting it all ready to go, filming it. I come through to do the screenshots so that I can put them into the video, actually get everything edited. There's one story here. It says Motorola Moto E 2015 to get Marshmallow update in select regions. You can't see that from here, but whatever. That's clearly a story that was on the XDA portal, but if I open the article, it's blank. Meaning that was a story that they published and then pulled back for whatever reason. It was out there long enough that it showed up in my RSS feed reader, so of course I build a story around it, and now I have to rip that out and hope that everything fits together well. This is not the first time that this has happened. This is actually, like, within the last couple of months, probably the 3rd or 4th time it's happened, and it's a story story that like I'm building a large portion of the video around. So I have to just sort of rip that out and hope for the best. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have said a word about it, but it's just kind of frustrating. Well, I finished editing the XDA video, and I used Postman here to go look up the article. I'm trying to see if there's an automated way that I can say, you know, look up all of the articles ahead of time before I start even scripting and make sure they're all valid. Well, normally when you click on an article and you say send, it gives you a status 200, okay, and then the contents of the article as text. Well, on that one in particular, if I hit send, it gives me a whole bunch of nothing, but it gives me a status code of 418, okay, which 418 is the code for I'm a teapot. Somebody's apparently having fun. And the funny thing is, all these issues that I was having with the XDA stuff earlier with an article disappearing, it's actually got me kind of motivated. I kind of want to either modify my script that I've got that pulls through my RSS feed and pulls all the stories out of it. Either modify that to, when I run it, have it go out and visit the site and make sure all the articles are actually there. It would be really, really nice if I could have it automatically pull screenshots from them. I started working on that and just never really got anywhere with it. That would make it even more easy to do. Yeah, I do not know exactly what has happened to me in the last couple of days, but I've become Commander Motivation Pants, because after doing the XDA video tonight, I just finished up filming on 2 videos. A video about the 42-inch TV, but the other video I finished up was the Drobo video. I figured it was a good time to go ahead and get as much done about it as possible. And you know what, guys, I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap it up there for today. I'm gonna be standing here for the next half hour, 45 minutes, struggling to get 10,000 steps in. I'm at 8,600 right now, so hopefully I'll be able to get there in the next 45 minutes. Everything resets at midnight. I went ahead and got the 4K TV video edited. It's rendering right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this video edited, rendered, and uploading. Get to work on the Drobo video, possibly even do some more work on the Phantom 3 video, because I've got footage from that now, so I can actually make good progress on it. And it's not gonna be a full review of it or anything, just an unboxing and first flight video. So that one I literally just have to get in front of the camera again and talk. So maybe I'll do that too. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and get everything in the world done, because I'm motivated. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for spending the day with me again. We will see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.